Good morning. My name is Sergeant Earl, and I'm here to give you an education brief today. I'm going to go over the two main things that pertain to you in regards to the GI Bill and the tuition waiver. Following both of those, I will give you some brief and informative information on other resources you can use to help accelerate your education benefits. So, I'm first going to go over everything GI Bill and make sure you have a good understanding of that, and then I will move forward into the tuition waiver. So first thing you need to know about the GI Bill is how you apply for it. You're going to utilize eBenefits as the website. I like to use this website because you will see it used several times later in your career for a VA home loan, disability, and several other options. So it's good to go ahead and get familiar with this website. Again, eBenefits is where you're going to apply for your GI Bill. Because the website is utilized for so many other things, once you get to the website, you'll need to find the education tab. Once you find the education tab, you're going to go ahead and apply for your benefits. The very first question it's going to ask you is what GI Bill has, and this is the very first important key part of my brief. I want you to understand that you have the Montgomery Chapter 1606 GI Bill. This GI Bill, it does not cover tuition and or fees. It is a single stipend that gets deposited directly into your bank account so that you can use it on whatever necessary. So as you fill out the rest of the application and you answer that you have the Montgomery Chapter 1606 GI Bill, the rest of the application process should be rather quick and painless. It's going to ask you for basic information such as where you live, where you plan on going to school, and your bank information. So have that readily available to be able to fill out. At the end of the application, when you hit submit, a pop-up box will pop up and ask if you'd like to attach any documents. You can click no, however, you will receive a letter in the mail saying you were denied your benefits. So when that pop-up box pops up, you will need to attach your DD-214. You should have several copies of this DD-214. Whenever you left AIT, they probably put them in a vanilla envelope for you and told you to take them to various places for future use. If for whatever reason you do not have a hard copy of a DD-214, you may access this at home on iPerms, the letter I-P-E-R-M-S. When you get onto iPerms, you can simply search for a DD-214 and yours should pop up in your file. You can then save it to your desktop and attach it that way if that is easier than using a hard copy DD-214. Whenever utilizing your DD-214, please make sure it is the most recent one you have. So after you've attached your DD-214, you will then hit submit and your application process will then go to get processed. Once it has processed, you will get a letter in the mail called your NOBI. Many of you have probably already heard of your NOBI and were told that this is what you needed in order to get your benefits, and that is true. Your NOBI is a Notice of Basic Eligibility. This lets you and the person you take your NOBI to just know that you have benefits you are eligible to use. It does not start the use of your benefits. Please understand that. Your NOBI is only step one, and you get your NOBI from completing the application on eBenefits for your GI Bill. Once you have your NOBI, you will then take your NOBI and a copy of your DD-214 to your school's VA office. At this point, you will have already needed to apply and been accepted to the college of your choosing. So the GI Bill can be used at any college or university. It does not need to be a state or local one. It can also be used on trade schools and or tech programs. So Police Academy, Firefighter Academy, there's a couple teach programs for students, or for soldiers, so you can use your GI Bill benefits on any programs such as that. And for more information on that, you can search through the eBenefits website. So once you have your NOBI and your DD-214 and you have turned it into your school's VA office, they will look over your DD-214 and determine if any of your training will transfer to credit hours. There's no guarantee that this will happen. It all depends on your school's personal policy and what your MOS is and what your degree is in. So if you're 68 Whiskey hoping to get a medical degree, you will probably have some credits transferable as long as your school allows you to do so. But if you're a 68 Whiskey and you want to do chemical engineering, probably not going to have any transferable credits. But it's always good to take it and find out, because that saves you ultimately money and time. So once you've turned those two documents into your school's VA office, you will then proceed to enroll in classes. After you've enrolled in classes, you then need to certify these classes for your GI Bill. Again, remember, we have collected our NOBI and turned it in, and all that is a letter letting your school know you have benefits you plan on using. It has not started your benefits. So in order to actually start your benefits, you need to certify your classes. You will do this every single semester you intend on using your GI Bill. So fall, spring, summer, December. However, there are some benefits, or there are some restrictions that will prevent you from using your benefits in all of those categories, and I will explain those further in just a moment. So how to certify your classes. Whenever you go to the VA office, they will assign you an advisor. That advisor is who you're going to certify your classes to. Now, you may do this by physically going to the VA office and showing them a copy of your schedule. Most of the time now you can email them a copy of your schedule and they can take care of everything virtually. So the reason your schedule is important is you're going to send a copy of that along with your social and your student ID, and they are going to take that information and forward it to the VA office in Muskogee, Oklahoma. The VA office is then going to go over your schedule and determine how much they're going to pay you. You get paid based on how many hours you're taking. So whether you're full-time, which is 12 credit hours or more, or part-time, which is 6 hours, or 3/4 time, 9 hours, and they even include online hours. How they have an algorithm, that will determine how those online credits are going to be used. But you can take online classes and credit them. So once they have looked over your schedule and determined how many hours you're taking, they will then determine an amount that they will pay you per month in your stipend. So you've certified your classes now, you begin going to class. The next step is going to be calling to obtain your stipend each month. You have to call every single month you certified those classes for. For an example, if you are taking fall classes, the semester goes August through December. That means every month, August through December, you need to call and obtain your stipend. How you call is it's the GI Bill phone number, and you can Google GI Bill phone number and it will be the first automatic link that pops up. It's 188 GI Bill, I believe, something of that sort, and you click on that and call. It is an automated phone, so you can call at any point in time of the day. It does not matter, but it has to be on the last day of the month. You cannot call before, but you can call after the last day. So let's say the 31st came and now it's the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th day into the next month. You can still call to collect your benefits. Just understand that you will not actually receive payment until you have called and certified your classes. So whenever you call this phone number, the 188 GI Bill phone number, it is automated. It's going to ask you, are you here to certify your classes? Have you attended training and gone to class for this month? Hit 1. You hit 1. It is then going to ask you again to clarify, did you go to training? Have you attended your classes? And are you here to certify your classes for this month? Hit 1 again. So you do so. The next question it's going to ask for is a 9-digit VA claim number. You do not have a VA claim number. It is your social. So you will put in your 9-digit social and hit pound. After you do that, I will ask for a 5-digit zip code. You'll put in your zip code and then you will hit pound again. After that, it will proceed to tell you you will get paid in the next 7 to 10 business days, and it will go directly into that bank account that you put on your e-benefits application. So just remember, you cannot call before the end of the month, but you can call after if you forget. If you forget for an entire month, when you call the next month, it will back pay you for both months. There is no deadline for the GI Bill. You can apply at any time. If you apply in August but do not get your NOBI until September and then get your classes certified in October, it will back pay you to the start of those classes. So it is important to know that you can fill this application out at any point in time, but the sooner the better. Around high enrollment time periods such as August and January, the VA office does get backed up, meaning it could take you longer to get your NOBI and get this process started. So once you have now applied for your benefits, you've received your NOBI, you have turned your NOBI into the VA office along with a copy of your DD-214, you have now certified your classes, and you have called to collect your payment. Now, the next important detail you need to know about your GI Bill is that you only get 36 months to withdraw your stipend. So the next question is normally, well, 36 months is not going to get me a bachelor's degree. Well, if you count fall and spring, those are only 8 to 9 months out of the year. The other 3 to 4 months they don't count, which is how they equivalent it to a 4-year degree being able to obtain your bachelor's. So if you decide to take summer and December classes, you are more than welcome to use your GI Bill and certify those classes. Just understand your GI Bill only lasts for 36 months. You only get to withdraw for 36 months. So if you use those, you will run out sooner rather than later. Once you've started utilizing your 36 months, you get 10 years. So if you go to school for a year and then decide you want to take a break, you are more than welcome to do so. Just know you must go back and complete it within that 10-year time frame. However, if there is an extenuating circumstance that prevents you from being able to complete school, such as getting deployed or an accident, your 10 years will start over. So no need to stress about that. Some other quick points I want to mention are about the kicker. If you have a kicker in your contract, your kicker will come automatically when you call each month, but there is a checkbox you will need to check on your e-benefits application asking if you have a kicker. You will check it, and then it will, of course, ask for your social, and when you attach your DD-214, the VA office will then go pull up your contract and confirm that you have a kicker. So there's nothing extra you need to do in that. And then when you call each month, your kicker will come attached to your stipend for whatever amount you sign for. If you are unsure whether you have a kicker or not, you can look up this information on your contract under iPerms. Again, that's just IPERMS, and that is a website you can access from your home. You can log in with a CAT card, which you can order off Walmart or Amazon, several other places. You access iPerm and you can search for your contract and find the amendment that has your bonuses and or any kicker information on it. So kicker will come automatically. That is a quick wrap of the GI Bill. I will go over I will hit some brief points again later at the end of this, but that is everything you really need to know to get started in regards to your GI Bill. Moving on, I'm going to talk real brief about the tuition waiver. Tuition waiver is done at your unit level. The GI Bill is a federal program that they use for soldiers in the Army. And then the tuition waiver is something that is a gift from the state of Oklahoma, so you only get it for being in the National Guard. Now, your GI Bill, the Montgomery Chapter 1606, doesn't cover, as I've already stated, tuition or fees or anything of that sort. So the tuition waiver is here to help offset that. It does only cover 100% of tuition, so you will have excess fees and charges that you will have to pay out of pocket for. Now, if you utilize your GI Bill for all of those, then you should be able to get through school without having to take out any loans or additional aid. But again, that stipend is for you to use in whichever manner you see fit. Now, the tuition waiver, it is done on the unit level. So when you get to your unit, you can ask your full-timer to help you apply for that. However, you can do it yourself. So if you have them show you how to do it, then you can do it whenever you remember to do it, because there are deadlines you'll need to hit or you will miss your benefits for that preceding semester. So I highly encourage you to have them show you how to do it. It has to be done at an armory because it has to be done on a government computer. It is not something you can do at home. This is why you have to have them show you, and I can't simply just tell you a website to go to at your house. So it asks 3 questions, very, very simple. It's going to ask for your social, how many hours you're taking, so you do need to already be enrolled in that semester, and it's going to ask what college or university you're going to, and it's going to ask for the specific location. For example, if you are going to OU Tulsa, you will choose OU Tulsa, not just simply OU Norman. It is specific to that because fees vary depending on location. So after you've submitted that tuition waiver, those 3 questions through the application, it does not go into effect until about halfway through the semester. This is because all of the colleges and universities need to wait until after the add drop date or the withdrawal date. The reason being, if you apply for a tuition waiver for 18 hours, but you decide to drop a class and you're only at 15 hours, they're going to credit you back for 18 because that's what you applied for, and then you're ultimately going to end up with a debt that you're going to owe the Army back. So they wait to give you ample time. If you decide to drop a class, that is completely fine, but you will need to contact the VA office in Muskogee. Again, you can do that through the 188 GI Bill phone number. It all goes to the same office, the education office in Muskogee, and you can talk to an education expert, but you need to let them know that you have decided to drop a class so that they can correct your application and submit the correct funds to the university. So that's why you won't see it reflected until about halfway through the semester. You can contact your school's bursar office and let them know you are in the National Guard and you are waiting for a tuition waiver to be applied so that you don't accrue any extra fees for not having paid off your tuition just yet. Again, understand the tuition waiver only covers tuition. So you will need additional funds to cover the rest of the fees and any other fines you get from your college or university. It's also important to know the tuition waiver is only good for state colleges and universities. You cannot use it for an out-of-state school. You cannot go online to a different state or university and use your tuition waiver because that is a gift from the state of Oklahoma. It has to be used within Oklahoma. You can use both together. The tuition waiver and the GI Bill you can use together. The tuition waiver does not expire. So if it takes you 10 years to get your bachelor's degree, you can use the tuition waiver for 10 years. If you're going to take 1 class at a time, use your tuition waiver. If you're going to take full 18 hours at a time, use your tuition waiver. My point being, if you're going to be enrolled in any classes, always use your tuition waiver because there are no limitations on how many times you can use it. So every time you plan on taking a class, please enroll in your tuition waiver. However, you will have to be smart and strategic when utilizing your GI Bill on how to make those 36 months work the best for you. Other points, the tuition waiver is only good for up to a bachelor's degree. You cannot use it on any secondary degree or graduate school. The GI Bill, however, you can. Like I said, you can use it on trade schools or a graduate degree or even a second bachelor's. So if you are already entering the National Guard and you already have a couple years of school under your belt and you only have a couple more to go, you can use your GI Bill, and then you will probably have a couple years worth of GI Bill left over that you can utilize into a second degree and or graduate school. But tuition waiver is only good up for a bachelor and only for tuition. So I highly encourage you to use your tuition waiver at all times. But again, remember, it only covers up to 18 hours, and be very strategic when using your GI Bill. That is all I have for the tuition waiver. I'm going to wrap this brief up going over some other key educational points that I think will benefit you. So the first one I want to bring attention to is GoArmy.ed. This is a website you can utilize after you've utilized all your benefits with the tuition waiver and or the GI Bill. You can go to GoArmy.ed and check out some other resources they have for you, such as the tuition assistance. That is also a federal program, not a state program, and it runs very differently, but you can get those applications and all that information off GoArmy.ed. You can also see about scholarship opportunities and grant opportunities through there as well. Following suit with grants and loans, I want to encourage you all to still apply for FAFSA, because you can stack all of that with these benefits. That goes with Oklahoma Promise as well. Those are all grants that you don't have to pay back. What will happen is your Oklahoma Promise will pay for your bills, and then your tuition waiver will apply, and you're going to have leftover money in your account that will get issued back to you, and you can use that money to live off of or pay bills for that semester however you see fit. But please apply for FAFSA, and please use any other grants, loans, or scholarships that you have and stack it all so that you can get through college as debt-free as possible. So wrapping up everything about education, I will have a questionnaire at the end of all of your briefs to help remind you of some key points. And if you have any further questions, you will be able to leave them in a comment box, and someone will reach out to you to address those. But if you need immediate response, please call that 188-GI-BILL phone number. And once you get through all the automated responses, at the end, it will say, press 0 to talk to an education specialist. That phone number is directly connected to the VA office again in Muskogee, Oklahoma, and they will be able to answer any further questions you have. Other resources, you can also check e-benefits and play around on the education tab, or you can go to GoArmy.ed and find a lot of your resources as well. For any of you that will be coming up in the fall semester, I highly encourage you to both apply for your GI Bill and your tuition waiver rather quickly, because again, the tuition waiver does have deadlines. Although the GI Bill does not, the tuition waiver does, and it's normally about the 2 weeks into each semester. So if school starts mid-August, by the end of August, you will have missed the deadline to apply for your tuition waiver. So make sure you're paying attention to those important dates and applying when necessary so that you do not miss an opportunity to have your tuition paid for. All right, that's about all I have for today. I hope this was helpful, and again, please follow up with a questionnaire. It will remind you of key points and give you an opportunity to ask any further education questions that you have.